is by applying the fundamentals and problem statements. In fact, I keep talking about this whenever I go and ask engineering students in the country. Oh, C is a language, fantastic, because information technology, electrical, communications, everybody is focusing on what is it, these programming languages, and people tell me C language. Sir, we learn C language as subject. Fantastic. How many programs we executed? Sir, 20. I said, why not 2000? C is not a subject. C must become a hobby for you. Problem solving is a hobby. Just like you go for a dance or a music class as an art, solving problems is an art. Solving problems is a hobby. The way you read novels as a hobby, solving problems has to become a hobby. Solving problems must become as a hobby. So C language must become as a hobby. Why engineering students across the country just execute 20 programs in C programming and say you're IT professional? In fact, you know who told me? It's Balaguri Swami sir who told me this statement. C programming must become a hobby. Because I did a bit of my project under him in my master's in computer science when Balaguri Swami sir is the director of PhD College of Technology before becoming the vice chancellor of my university. The father of C program in the Indian standards, Balaguri Swami sir said this. So application of fundamental is very important. And the second one, people spoke about communication skills, etc., etc. I want to go a step ahead of it. It's not only communication, it is articulation. Is very important. Articulation skills is very, very important to be able to meet the 4 outcomes I said. You know where I learned the articulation? Articulation we learn from your role models. My father is a role model for me. I learned the art of articulation from my dad. I learned the role of articulation from my teacher. And Chandamama taught me how to articulate a single line story into 2-page, what is that, story. Go to open Chandamamas, please go back. Open Chandamamas, what is it, in your library, or I don't know if the library does maintain, what is it, a log of Chandamama books. Open any story in Chandamama. The actual content of that story is only one single line. But it motivates you to read 2-page, what is that story. One more very interesting thing. Based on the title itself, we'll get to know what is the theme of that particular story. But you are forced to read the 2-page story to know what is that one underlying statement of Chandamama story. That is the power of articulation. And that is that you need to capture that, what is that, power of articulation. Communication skills is something that you need to really look into and start talking about articulation skills rather than just communication skills. And the second A, what I said about it. And the third A is attitude. I will skip attitude for now because I'm done with my first, what is it, bucket, because I'll come to culture, and in culture I'll talk about attitude. So boys and girls, outcomes of engineering education is 4. For that, you need to apply, you need to get the concepts of not only communication, but articulation. And the third one is attitude, which I'm going to speak very shortly. I'm done with the first bucket. Second bucket, I take 1 or 2 minutes of time. What are the trends we are seeing in the technology space in the future? I don't know how many of you people still remember the basic, what is it, Guruji who taught us what are the Panchabhutas of our, what is it, nature. God has given 5, what is it, Panchabhutas, 5 Bhutas. You know what is it? Okay. Water, air, Agni, etc. Today technology is talking about 5 digital forces. And that is going to drive the technology for the future. Maybe a medical field, maybe a transport industry, maybe a life sciences industry, maybe banking industry, maybe insurance industry. Everything is going to be driven by these 5 Panchabhutas. I'll tell you what Panchabhutas are. One is social platforms. Social platforms. The second is cloud. The third is analytics. Another one is mobility. And the last one is robotics and artificial intelligence. So these are the upcoming technological trends what we are seeing, which are going to reinvent the entire industry segments we are sold for. I was actually listening to one of the very interesting speaker in automotive industry. 1 decade back, to create a car, 100% is automotive industry. All mechanical engineers with the specialization of what is an automotive got into creation of trucks, creation of cars, creation of bikes. Today people are saying that automotive industry is 80% software and chips and 20% only manufacturing concepts. And that is the concept of interdisciplinary coming together and creating something for you. Today 80% of car manufacturing is simple software. right? So what kind of trends we are seeing is very, very important, and these, what is it, 5 are the important trends what we are seeing. I talk about social for some time, and then I leave other topics for you to go to your library and refer to books, understand what is artificial intelligence, robotics, etc., cloud and all that. Social. We as human beings, we have seen 3 revolutions so far. We have seen agricultural revolution. We have seen industrial revolution. And that is the reason JRD became very successful. He caught the bus of industrial revolution and made India so proud. And third, we have seen knowledge revolution. Why so many computer science guys, electronics guys, communications guys getting huge amounts of opportunities, in this country and across the globe, is because of knowledge revolution. Right? And the next one is social revolution. Something that we need to capture. Social revolution is very, very powerful. Facebook is very, very powerful. LinkedIn, very, very powerful. YouTube, very, very powerful. Today, if you go to YouTube and just type what all the outcomes of engineering education, we have 1,000 articles for you to consume. And no need to even go to the library. So that is the social, revolution. And IoT is also social revolution. How to bring social relationships between components or Internet of Things. So I think social revolution is the key for all of us. Please spend some time and understand what is the social revolution that you are going to see very shortly. I'll give one small example. One of a woman comes to India from Chile with a small baby. And at 11 o'clock, 11:30 in the night, the baby gets skin rashes. And she doesn't know what to do. She goes into Facebook and updates that my baby got rashes. Can you please help me? By 11:45, we have 50 people responding to that request on Facebook and telling her exactly what to do in Indiranagar, Bangalore, to go and see a doctor, or if doctor is not available, I am a doctor myself as a dermatologist, can you please go ahead and get this 24/7 pharmacy available in Indiranagar Crossroads, get this tablet and make sure that your kid is well. By 12:15, she updates in the midnight saying that my son or my daughter or a baby is fine now. Can you believe the power of social connectivity? That is what I am telling you, social revolution. That is what is social revolution. So I think we need to look at technological trends and also apply them in the real time. What is this? How millions of people watched that video? At some point of time, if SP Balu created one single audio track to reach 20,000 people, the kind of effort they used to go through, cut the CDs, send the CDs, cut the tape recorder, devices, so tedious job. Today technology, he kept on YouTube, and within hours, millions of people across the world has seen the so-called dance. And that is the power of social revolution. And one more thing I'll talk about, and then I'll go to the next bucket. Anyway, I can get away with Samba because whatever time I take, it doesn't really bother me. The second one in the 5 forces I said is mobile. The most powerful device for the universe in the future is mobile. Mobile is very, very important. And somebody made one or two interesting statements in one of the conferences I attended, which caught my attention. He said in this country, the number of mobile owners are much more than the number of toothbrush owners. So a person who is not seeing a value in the toothbrush, but seeing a value in the mobile phone, and that is the power of technology. Who is behind this technology? Engineering students of the world are behind the technology. Mobile is very, very powerful. And one more statement caught my attention. And he said, if you want to think with your mind. But if you want to do with a mobile. Trust me, boys and girls, a time is going to come where JNTU Anantapur is going to make you write exams on a mobile, virtually anywhere in the world, anytime, instead of coming to a classroom on a bench and writing your examination. Take my bet, it's going to happen. It's happening in some of the convent education in this country already. In fact, convent education is much more forward-looking than technology education in some of the colleges I have seen. People are writing exams on iPads. Virtually, anytime, anywhere, you can do it. Why cannot do it? Technology makes it possible. So I think these are some of the trends which you need to understand, and also understand the application of those technology trends in the real-time problems, where you got one more opportunity to apply the fundamentals what we studied as part of engineering education. So I'm done with the second of some of the trends that I am seeing in technology. And one more very interesting video I have seen. Go to YouTube. Why, if you are going to YouTube and Facebook and LinkedIn and use for right purposes, your father and mother will motivate you to go for the social media. Okay, why you guys make Facebook so unpopular by doing unpopular things? If you do popular things, Facebook will become very popular and father and mother will promote you to use Facebook. One video is there where, at some point of time, if you look at a vehicle manufacturing, cars inspire me a lot. I don't know why. Car brings a lot of inspiration to me. All this way, there is a huge supply chain to create a car. Somebody has to create bolts, somebody has to create nuts, somebody has to create a corner, somebody has to create a glass. Imagine, in the future, all the components of automobile industry is getting 3D printed. 3D printing is going to make it, the way you print your, what is it, printout, you are going to print 1,000 bolts together by 3D printing. That is what exactly people are talking about it. So I think technology inspires people. If you really start romancing with technology, right word I want is yes, romancing with technology, then the outcomes of engineering education will become easy for the teachers to make it happen. You need to start romancing with technology. What is romancing? Viking, having a heart for technology. Right? So I am done with the second bucket, that is technological trends, what I am seeing with my little bit of knowledge in the IT industry. The third one is culture. And today, I can talk next 24 hours on culture because of my favorite topic. I've done a lot of lectures across the world, engineering colleges. But Samba made us remember the great Ramanujan. And on this day, as an engineer, the inspiration for us is Dr. Visvesvaraya sir. The Bharat Ratna is the inspiration for every engineer. And once you go to Google and type the quotes of what is that, Sachin Tendulkar, some 10,000 quotes will come. And if you go and say the quote of what is that, Sir M. Visvesvaraya sir, I never got his quotes. I got only one poster. And that I used in one of the sessions, I want to use it today. And there I talk about culture. And exactly on the quotes, I don't want to make even a simple what is it, word deviating from the statements. So Bharat Ratna, the engineering father of our nation, said, on quotes, remember, your work may be only to sweep a railway crossing. Remember, your work may be only to sweep a railway crossing, but it is your duty to keep it so clean so that no other crossing in the world is as clean as yours. And that is a statement Visvesvaraya sir mentioned in one of the forums. So what is he doing? Your work may be only to sweep a railway crossing. He is talking about respect for the individual to the extent of even a person who cleans the railway crossing is very important for this country. He is talking about the culture of respecting people around us. You need to start respecting people around you. It's not only respecting the teacher, respecting the parents. Every human being on the earth brings some kind of value and help in the society. How to respect them. That is one fundamental culture he spoke about. And it is your duty to keep it so clean so that no other crossing in the world. He's talking about benchmarking a railway crossing with the other railway crossing in the world. Compare yourself, position yourself, benchmark yourself. He's talking about benchmarking at your level, at national level, at international level. He spoke these words many years back. And he said, very importantly, is keep it so clean. Look at the culture that he mentioned, culture of respecting people, culture of taking your duty very seriously, and culture of bringing quality in everything that we do. I think this is the culture which I want to talk about. And the second quote I'll give you, by Ratan Tata, my, role model. After my dad, if somebody I really got excited, or inspired, is Mr. Ratan Tata. He made one statement. None can destroy iron, but its own rust can. Likewise, none can destroy a person, but it is own mindset that can. So boys and girls, if you want to be the best in the country, it is your mindset. If you want to be the worst in the country, it is also your mindset. Don't blame the society, don't blame the people around you, and don't blame politicians, or don't blame any kind of infrastructure that is available for your consumption in day-to-day life. The only thing that you are responsible for your self-being is you as an individual. And it is important for you to understand that none can destroy iron, but its own rust can. And likewise, none can destroy a person, but its own mindset. So the culture of mindset The culture of becoming successful. I want to become successful should be every day mantra for each one of you. And what is the success? You define it. There are plenty of what is that, success stories that we see in the world. And the last one I talk about culture, I talk about Steve Jobs. What he said, one of the famous quotation of Steve Jobs. Stay foolish, stay hungry. The culture of being hunger. And Abdul Kalam sir also said, okay, dreams are not something which you get while you're sleeping. Dreams are something which will not allow you to sleep. Right? So I think stay foolish and stay hungry. The culture of being hungry. Boys and girls, be hungry. I want to become something. I want to be the best outgoing student of this particular college. And I want to receive an award in next, what is it, the annual celebrations of SRIT. I want to get placed in TCS. Every day you have dreamed something which is going to make your hunger much more in the right direction. And stay foolish. People are saying that be a bit innovative in nature. What do you mean by foolishness? Thinking something different from the rest of the people. So boys and girls, it's a fantastic opportunity for me to say these few words to you. And Samba, I'm the only friend of the class. Rest of the people are your senior people, colleagues, visitors, etc., etc. I have a duty of not only praising you, I have a duty of giving right inputs to you. I don't praise, but I'll give right inputs to you. I want to give 3 inputs, 4 inputs, which I said is my observations. Number 1, make it much more intradisciplinary going forward. Lakshminarayan sir spoke about it. Fantastic saying that next future is, what I say, all technologies coming together. Right? So make it much more intradisciplinary. As I said, today a manufacturing of a car is no longer a right of what is that mechanical or automobile specialist. Today software engineers of IT computer science department is going and creating much more what is that stuff. Otherwise, how can Google think of what is it humanless car? Right? Google is not a what is it manufacturing company. Google is a knowledge company. A knowledge, there is no what is it limits. So I think let's make intradisciplinary, and I don't have great strength to tell these inputs to Patnaik sir, but I'm telling you. Okay? Try to bring some women leaders on the dais. Okay? Women empowerment is very important for organizations, for the country to prosper. There are plenty of women leaders in various fields in the country. Bring them to the dais and make sure that women leaders gets an opportunity. And look at the classroom. Look at your combination of your what is it college, 50% is girls, 50% is what is it boys. So why we need to have 100% of boys in the dais? So get some what is it talented what is it women who can what is it give inputs and inspire them, and make sure that they set that woman as a role model for the future, so that they also get what is it empowered and they can start dreaming looking at a leader.
Right there, 2 women speakers will be there.
Absolutely. And one more very interesting thing. I went to Gadak very recently. I met a 37-year-old person, Patnaik sir, next time when he's Banglore, I asked him to meet. 37 years old guy, or 35 years old guy. He's a PhD in structural engineering or civil department. And I said, why are you doing and what are you doing in Gadak? Sir, it is my country, it is my hometown, it is my state, and I want to teach only in the rural areas because I'm a rural student. And this society has given me the opportunity to become a PhD at 36 age, 37 age. I'll go and only serve Gadak. Right? So what we need to do, input for what is Samba is get some young PhD, guys, as part of the the dais next year. Women and youngsters, because the future is Gen Y. We started seeing Gen Y PhD scholars, bring them onto the dais so that Gen Y, Gen Z gets much more excited. And one more last thing is next conference, whenever you do every 2 years or 3 years, 3 years, next conference has to be everything on mobile. Okay, your complete what is that international conference, starting from invitation, uploading the papers, giving the agendas, and people somewhere sitting there and seeing the live broadcast of this particular what is that stuff from hostel. Everything has to happen on mobile. I'm telling you, your students of SRIT must do that mobile app and gift it as a gift for what is it management in the next what is that So boys and girls, congratulations for having a wonderful gathering today, and I wish you all the very best. 4 outcomes of engineering education. On top of the first 3, the last one is very powerful. We all must become a concerned citizen of this country, a concerned citizen of the community, and the concerned citizen of the village that we belong to, the town that we belong to. That makes this country much more successful, much more growth oriented, and more importantly, much more place to smiles and safety in our life. Thank you so much.
Chakravarthy garu, for your wonderful speech and advice to the students. We will have a slight departure from this youth here.